Hey, folks. How's everybody doing tonight? This is not Jay. Right now I'm flying solo, but you know what? That's okay. McMurray will be here very shortly, I haven't been told. So, um, we've got a couple of in the text already. Bunkhouse in the house. I'm here on time tonight. Yes, you are. Thank you for joining. And Dave Hall, ahoy, away, away, arg. Yes. It was intentional to spell away in that fashion. Um, it was a kind of, it's a gaming in a way. Away, anchors, away, whatever. And I am not going to lie and pretend that I knew that today was the U.S. Navy's birthday. I just thought it was going to be cool to talk about naval gaming, and it just so happens to fall on the anniversary of the founding of the United States Navy. So that's pretty cool, I guess. Wardrobe's in the house. He says, "You're live." Yes, I am. He's driving in between homes. The movers are done. Well, congratulations, sir. If you have time, if you have the inclination, if you'd like to jump on, the you got the the link there. So, Chuck, howdy, Chuck. Evening to all. If there's a will, there's a way. Nice. And my brother says, roll with it. To get GTAG. Okay, whichever, brother. So, I know naval gaming is not everybody's favorite thing. It's been made clear by one of my regular co-hosts, Jeff. He doesn't do Navy and he doesn't do air unless it's for close air support for his armor. That being said, I love it. And all of the various aspects of naval gaming, and not just flat water, ocean going Navy. In all honesty, spaceships is a naval game. Starships is a naval game. And there is Mr. McMurray himself. Hello, sir.
Hey, what's up, man? Sorry, I was pulling at the house and then I realized I needed to find some boats to paint.
Oh, that's okay. That's quite all right. So that is okay. Not a worry.
How's the episode going so far?
Well, we just started 3 minutes in, and I've already let everybody know that it was no way intentional that I chose naval gaming tonight because it is the anniversary of the founding of the United States Navy. It just so happened to be that, so it's serendipitous.
Yeah.
So I could have said, you know what, because it is that. No, I lucked out.
Who does that? Who does that?
Who plans shit out? Not me.
What kind of tacky individual does that?
Yeah, right. But I was talking about why naval gaming is my favorite, and it's not just, like I was saying, not just ocean going Navy, but starships. Starships is basically Navy. It's just not on water, and in some cases 3-dimensional.
I mean, in all fairness, at least historically, I have yet to find an instance of 2-dimensional ships fighting one another.
I'm talking about in space.
I mean, everything exists in space, Chris.
Right. Never mind. You're killing me, son. Anyway, in fact, the very first game that I remember buying, and I've spoken about this many times, is the FAS's Star Trek Starship Combat Tactical game. And it was Star Trek, so that immediately, you know, checked a box because I love Star Trek. 2, it's spaceships, which aren't much different than, regular ships when you think about it. And 3, it was a fun game. So, that led me down the path of
Madness.
yeah, exactly. You know,
It's
that was
anything like it.
back. That's got to be back. Oh man. Well, I distinctly remember playing the game regularly in 1987, 88 time frame, but I know I had it longer than that. I think I might have got it summer of 85 when I was visiting my mom when my parents were divorced for the first time up in Kansas City. I believe I bought it at Yankee Doodle. Jay's actually better at remembering, stuff like that. So, but yeah, 1987 was definitely a time. 87, 88, 89 was definitely a time frame then that we were playing that game quite a bit. And then I I made mention at one point in time that I really thought World War II uh, was, kind of in my opinion, the height of naval combat with big guns, well established, and the entrance of aircraft taking over. And my then father-in-law, it says your device is not connected. Oh, there you are. There you are. Hey, hey. And my then father-in-law decided we he started buying me GHQ ships, and then I got in touch with one of the guys that was kind of a big deal in gaming in Kansas City, John Harmon. He was running his a little miniature store in a flea market there in Kansas City, and he said, "I understand you've got." Well, let me roll back a little. Oh yeah, he said, "I hear you like the World War II naval combat. Here, try this game out." And he showed me the first version of General Quarters, the little half sheet fold over, printed in red and with red. Um, red ink on the cover, and of course black. It looked like it was typed up on a typewriter, hand printed type thing. And I got together with my buddy Copeland. We broke into my Axis and Allies game, pulled out all the ships in there. Battleships, of course, the battleships. The aircraft carriers were, of course, aircraft carriers. But we used all the little transport ships for cruisers. And we played a game of GHQ and realized it was something missing, as we all do when we start playing a game for the first time. Because who hasn't played a game for the first time and said, you know what, that was fun, but I think if we did this, this, and this, it would be better. And so we started doing this, and this. We went to the public library, found an ancient tome known as Jane's Book of Fighting Ships, and started making photocopies of the ships, and said, okay, instead of just 4 boxes for hull and 4 boxes for armament and etc., let's see what we can do with picturing shells falling on the ship in different places. And at the time, my wife, now ex, said, if y'all are going to make all these changes, why don't y'all just come up with your own rules? And that, again, led us down the path of madness. And ultimately ended up with my game, Ocean Thunder, which I'm still working on cleaning up and going to be getting out to folks that would like it. Once it's ready to go, I'll post it up in the on Discord for people to download if they want. So yeah, I've been naval gaming 87, 88, definitely, as my brother says here. Faux show with Toph, Mark, and John. That was our little gaming clutch during high school years. Dave Hall says William Shatner shot into subspace today. Captain Dunsel himself. Well, there you go. And Chuck says GHQ armor. Yes, they've got great armor, but they also have great 1/2400 scale naval ships as well. World War I through
modern, like
Cold
the
War.
80s or 90s. Yeah,
Yeah,
they've got some modern stuff, like some current stuff. Not a whole lot though.
So, but like I said, to me, World War II is, at least for naval gunnery, it's the ultimate there for me, because you've got the really big guns shooting at really big ships, using radar for target tracking, target ranging, etc. In a tactical game where you're going to be fighting something like the Battle of Savo Island or Battle of Surigao Strait or any of those types of battles, obviously those two that I mentioned are night fighting, so there's no aircraft. But Battle of one year
Samar.
always, Battle of Samar. You really don't have aircraft in that, and to me, aircraft in a World War II game, if you want to fight a World War II aircraft game, get an aircraft game. Get Wings at War, or Wings of Glory, or whatever they're calling it this day, or get Blood Red Skies, or get Starfighters and make it into a World War II game.
See, that's part of why I almost prefer World War I for big gun stuff.
Right, yeah. Because you don't have to deal with the aircraft. You don't have to make concessions for the aircraft.
Yeah, and then at the same time, you don't feel like you're missing out on anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. But just as I'm not a big fan of modern naval, for the same reason, is I'm sure people love playing Harpoon, but in my mind, sitting there,
people fucking love Harpoon, man.
Yeah, I need to get a copy just to see what it's about.
People adore that game, man.
But to me, it's like, okay, I'm gonna CGN, or guided missile cruiser, and I'm gonna go ahead and pop off 36 harpoons, and you're gonna pop off however many SA whatevers, and then I'm gonna have my SS1s try to take out your SA whatevers, and the ones that get through my Sea Whiz are gonna try to attack. Oh, and you hit me with a 1,000-kilogram warhead, and you've broken my back, and now I'm sinking.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even know you were out there.
Well, shit.
And I'm sure people, for whatever reason, people love that game, like you said. I'm thinking about picking it up just to see, what all the hubbub's about.
Yep.
just to see. Chuck's coming in with I want to get some Italian ships and some string bags and maybe a British cherry. I think you meant carrier. Or two, and try to put together a Taranto 40 game with minis.
Yeah.
I've thought about doing the same thing with Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, I want to say almost everything that was at Taranto.
Yeah,
And I've got a sizable Italian GHQ collection. And granted, it's the Reggio Marina. There's not necessarily a whole lot, around. But yeah, it's kind of like in Cruel Seas. I was thinking about building the entire Lake Ladoga force, and then I was like, that's not too far off of the entire Finnish Navy.
right.
But yeah,
And Chuck did mean British carrier, not British cherry.
and
And
swordfish bomber instead of
yeah,
string bags.
string bags equal swordfish torpedo bombers. Yeah, they were known as the string bags. Yes, they were. So. And then my brother watching here says, you miscategorize games almost as badly as I do." I'm sure he will.
It's got to be genetic.
Yeah, it must be. But yeah, I've played. I've played General Quarters. I played General Quarters 2, which was really weird. General Quarters. You would think General Quarters 2 would be a second edition of General Quarters World War II. No, General Quarters 2 was the World War I variant. And it was a blue book. Same size, same concept. And then I guess they came out with General Quarters 3, and decided, hey, this is the ultimate, we're good to go. This is what we're going to be playing. And I've played it a couple of times, and it's not a bad game.
Yeah.
It is a little more than just 4 boxes for armor and 4 boxes for armament. There's a little more to it. It's a fun game.
Old Dominion's good for that, for adding, just kind of bumping it up to the next level. They do it with Post Captain too.
Yeah. So I've played that, but as far as Flatwater Naval War Games go, actually playing the game, I think I've almost played General Quarters as much as I've played my own game, because I rarely played my own game, because whenever I ran it, there was enough people that wanted to play that I said, okay, sure, you can take my spot, and I was just the game master. Of course, by the time 30 minutes, 45 minutes into the game session at a convention, I became superfluous because the players were running the game, which I guess is good.
Yeah, it's a testament to the rules.
Yeah, I mean, are they a perfect simulation of naval combat during World War II? No. Do people get the feel of naval combat in World War II? Yeah. Do they have fun? Yeah. When you get people coming, hey, do you have any slots left? Or the convention calling you, 4 weeks before the event happens and says, hey, is there any way you can add another game that's for that session, or all the sessions? So
it's probably a good sign.
Yeah. So it's been long enough that I got really burnt out on it, because that's all I was doing in my gaming life was Ocean Thunder. It was either working on the rules, or painting ships, or running the game at conventions, or running the game at stores. It became all encompassing to my gaming life, and honestly, I got burnt out on it. Now I've touched on it a time or two since then. That was about 23, 24 years ago. I've touched on it, but I think I'm finally to the point where I want to dive in. I'm gonna I know I want to make some changes with it because it is very, very much a child of the 90s. It is definitely a game from the 90s. And my gaming philosophy has changed quite a bit since then. So I look at it now, it's like, God, is there a better way to do this? So what I'm going to do is once I get it cleaned up and, make it look decent for consumption, I'm going to go ahead and get it out there to you guys and let y'all chop it apart. And tell me you like it, tell me you criticize it, do whatever. No hard feelings when you come at me about it, because I know that it's it's a rule set from 25 years ago. you know you know so yeah, World War II is kind of my go-to. um I've played a couple of Napoleonic games for miniatures.
Same.
I think that would be done the right way. I think it could be fun.
What scale do you want to play in, Chris?
Well, I've got 1/1200th. I just need to paint them.
Don't let that restrict you. I've got 1/1200 and 24 and 1/1000.
Yeah.
1/600 and 300 and some 15 mil.
So what you're saying is,
somewhere around here, I've got some 4800 from Tumbling Dice.
those got to be small.
They are. They're quite cool. Yeah.
So that's. Let's kind of table that for a second. If you were to do it over again, what, and you were going to do let's say World War One.
Oh, really, Jay? Guess what I'm going to paint now that I have all of these. I needed to get the brown on these pirates' hats so that this whole group of them is at the same level. The boats I ran downstairs earlier to grab are.
Let's see them. Let's see them.
Hang on a minute. Just a second. Let me get these
push the pirates out of the way.
The pirates. Again, that's still naval because they're still
around of course, yeah.
But hang on, the boats I ran downstairs to grab.
You know what makes
when I saw the topic for today.
You know what makes pirates irate?
I don't know what.
Not getting their gold.
That's fair. I was doing some prep reading, some research for this. And I got online and I was reading. Did you know that in Key West, your average, normal 12-inch or whatever key lime pie costs about $4, especially when they're in season. In Jamaica, it's a little cheaper if you use American dollars. In Cuba, the transition price, because of the fact that, with how their agricultural industry is nationalized, it's significantly more expensive because the Cuban government isn't a super duper fan of just growing key limes. So to make a key lime pie itself, it's about 15 to 20 American dollars. And so it fluctuates everywhere. And anyhow, those are the pirates of the Caribbean. If you're really wondering.
Yeah, that's
Zing!
I knew you were going down that road. I almost made the joke myself, but I was going to let you do it because that's your gig.
It's just how long will McMurray walk through this?
Yeah, how long is he going to go with it? Are we going to get a 20-minute diatribe about how
the Greeks were scared of dawn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How the Greeks were afraid of the sun rising?
He was so mad. So mad. Because dawn is tough on Greece.
Oh God, it was amazing. It truly was amazing.
Oh my God, he was so pissed. That was just so ungodly worth it. I don't know what to do. So the real question is, do I want to paint these things up like, like you want them to be, polished, beautiful, there you go, or do I want to paint them up looking, all of these, most of these, a lot of the armor was cast, right? So be some weird blackish color. Or do I want to do kind of a mix of both? Some of these I could paint up as timberclads with no problem. Like this guy's it's a timberclad. It's just a thing. I don't know, man. Like the trials and tribulations and just frivolous stuff that I worry about sometimes really boggles my mind.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go ham on these things because I feel like, well, let's do this.
Look at here!
What? What? Hi, buddy.
Hey. Get out of town. Welcome, buddy. Thank you for joining.
Hey, what's up?
Well, McMurray is gonna go paint some Civil War ships. I'm in the process of painting a hallway for the Tantive 4.
Oh, all right.
So the question is,
I'll check that out.
Do I want to paint these like a blackish cast iron looking color?
Yes.
Maybe with some rust on them. Do I want to paint them a steely looking color so they're like gleaming? It could be a dark steel, like a gunmetal. And then maybe do like some I don't know what the hell washout put on them to make them look dingy or rusty. I guess just like a dark brown of some sort. Or what? You, the viewers, that's what's going to take me the longest here, is deciding how I want to do this. So the viewers, co-hosts here, Mr. Warmhut, what do you guys think? You guys decide, and I'm going to see how quickly we can get these guys painted up and get them looking pretty.
I mean, if it's supposed to be a timberclad, paint it.
Other than timberclad, because that'll be brown. Yeah.
Yeah. I would make it look. Let me see if I can. Okay, hold on. Hold your votes. Discuss amongst yourselves. My brother says Flag Officer Andrew Foote was a stud.
Absolutely. And yeah, Agrax is definitely the wash that's going to go on him, Jay. That's what's
and then Chuck says, bought a very simple game a couple years ago, Torpedo Raider by Minden Games. Very simple. Thin cardboard counters left me wanting more. Found a few usable leftover plastic ships and planes. Oh, very cool. I am going to dig deep into my photo library.
See, what was the ironclad that was rebuilt? It wasn't Carondelet. I thought it was.
Rebuilt from what?
It's like a museum ship, but it's like the Olympia. It's out of the water.
Oh,
I remember seeing it when I was a little kid.
Look what my wife made.
Oh, get out of here!
What do you got there?
It's a chicken shawarma.
Shawarma? Okay, cool.
Shawarma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
USS Cairo. So that's what the reconstructed USS Cairo looks like. It's like a black, again, kind of like a cast iron looking color.
That's what I said. Just paint it black.
Well, that's not as interesting.
It's not a red door.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's I'm going historical on you right now. You paint it the way it's supposed to be painted.
All right, that's fair. Screw it. We're just going to use Black Templar on all of this shit. So it's going to take me about 20 minutes to paint all 22 ships.
There you go.
Cairo. That's right, Jay. The Cairo. Because I believe it was named for Cairo, Illinois.
I was checking out.
I used to work with a kid named Justin Fulkerson. Good kid. He was from Cairo. I think he still lives in Cairo. Pizza, Mackey's Pizza in Cairo, Illinois. Would heartily recommend based on his reviews.
So what I'm digging for is I have a 1/300th scale. I believe it's the CSS Virginia, which makes it the USS Merrimack. Is that correct? No.
Correct.
Yes.
Well, the Merrimack wasn't a monitor, so that's the kind of weird thing, because the Merrimack was actually a ship, but it was
Right.
essentially just raised to the waterline almost.
Right.
To
And then they rebuilt it. The
Yeah.
Confederates salvaged it, rebuilt it, and
when they took Norfolk.
yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, we'll do this.
But I painted it up, and I thought it looked pretty good. I gotta find it now, and we're diving deep into my past here.
It's all good. Like I said, I think I'm gonna do. I'll just put black Templar on them to start with. Maybe I'll come back and dry brush like a necromancer cloak or something, just to give them a little bit more depth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, well, back in Austin finally, because that's
The
where
issue is I primed them way too light, so this black Templar is not going on particularly well.
No,
You're
there's
paint that now?
Huh?
You're painting that now? Oh, you are.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
it's the naval episode.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
What
What
buddy,
naval stuff are you painting, Brian?
come here.
I did. I wasn't watching
Here we
someone
go.
play a game of is it Oak and Iron?
Yeah, Firelock put that out. Yeah,
It looked pretty interesting.
I have that entire Kickstarter still sitting in the box because I read the rules and
There
it
you
just
go.
was another one of those. Man, for whatever reason, Firelock has concepts that I think have a lot of potential, and I just can't get behind the execution on them. Like Blood and Plunder, potential to be super cool because it was supposed to incorporate land and sea combat.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Couldn't get into it. Yeah, there you go.
So what I did with this, and this is a 1/300 scale, so it's
6
about
mil.
about yay long.
Oh yeah,
No?
yeah.
But what I did was I primed it black, and then this here I dry brushed. I think it's bronze.
I can't see your cursor, so describe what you're talking about. The bow up
No,
there?
the sides.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The plates to
Yeah,
get
the
that little
plates.
rusty effect.
Yeah, I think I think it was bronze, like not bright bronze.
Like a
Like-
coppery bronze color.
Yeah, it wasn't tin bits because I used tin bits on the guns. You know,
Okay.
the old Citadel color tin bits, BITZ.
Yeah.
And then I used, I think, the wood decks. I did it in Iraqi sand and then dry brushed everything with Agrax. That literally this took me less than an hour,
Yeah.
but I think it turned out pretty good.
Accurate. I would agree.
No.
Speaking of tin bits and other things of its ilk, the hobby industry is continuing to eat Games Workshop alive, and it's just bringing joy to my heart.
Are
Like-
you talking about speed painting? The speed paint?
No, they're NDA issues that they're going through that people are
Oh.
just eating their faces about because people are finally realizing the Games Workshop is the evil empire, which is hilarious. I don't know. I find it just beyond funny.
Isn't Army Painter coming out with like a speed paint thing? Or
Yeah,
whatever?
it's called speed paint.
Yeah, I was about to say Army Painter has been they like revolutionized bringing the Agrax Earthshade tape, wash with their quick shade stuff where you literally just dunked your miniature into what's essentially watered down or thinned out min wax.
Yeah.
But hey, it worked. It was a big stinking deal at the time. It got Army Painter onto the map.
Right.
Like, I don't think I'd necessarily heard of Army Painter in any significant amount before that. Before those little cans started showing up. They're even in Minwax cans. But anyways.
Oh, the speaker.
So here's my USS Shangri-La.
Nice.
It's not great, but
I like the detailing on the deck with the lines and everything is absurd.
it's a decal.
Well, I don't care. It looks great.
Yep.
Brian and I are sitting here like, cool. It could be, Feasol. We don't care. It looks great.
Bunkhouse says, I'm living for the fall of the GW these days. A competitor to contrast paints would be appreciated. Yeah, it's going to come in.
I remember when people used to say Reaper was going to put that out, and I'm really sad that they haven't, because I tend to prefer Reaper's paints anyways.
So it's going to come in this size bottle.
It doesn't matter what size, so long as it's got a dropper on it.
Yeah. It's in one of these bottles, and I might as well get one of these actual. And my understanding is it's the same price.
Oh, the Army Painter alternative? Good.
Yep.
Good for Army Painter.
When's it coming out, or is it already out?
It's going to be released first part of 2022.
All right.
So we're probably 3 to 6 months away still.
Good for Army Painter.
Let me see here.
But yeah, for whatever reason, those like GW and NDA and everything, is GW really the Evil Empire? All these random like former GW, like essentially fan channels, keep popping up on my YouTube algorithms. Like, Google's been listening to me rant against GW for years, and finally they're like, ooh, we finally have mainstream content that matches your hatred.
Yep.
Please view.
Here's USS Cleveland.
Nice.
These things were painted so many years ago. I mean, literally, these are 25-year-old models that I've painted 25 years ago. Using $1 a bottle.
Yep. Like apple barrel type stuff?
Yep.
Dude, if it works, it works, and it is definitely working on those things.
Here's my my Prince Eugen. Bring this on up. There you go. And if you live in Europe, hide it real quick. Don't show anybody, because I did paint the swastikas.
Oh no, you painted the aircraft recognition markers.
Yep.
I did not do that on my
Chuck Bunkhouse says those ships look slick, not Jay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And then Chuck Paint Novice here, Agrax. It's Agrax Earthshade. It is
a Games Workshop wash.
Yep.
That is very similar to an
this is Nuln oil. Agrax Earthshade comes in the same size bottle.
I'll swab your deck hex to hex. Get on here.
Oh gosh!
Yikes!
Be careful with that Agrax, because it's real aggressive.
It is. It is.
It is. Well, my issue with Agrax is it just takes a really long time to dry. Other than that, I love it.
Yeah,
it is liquid talent.
I'm gonna go get seconds. I'll be right back.
All right.
You bring me some.
Oops.
The first time a guy back in the day at a Games Workshop store showed me just block painting and washing to success with Agrax, it really is. It is. There's some things it doesn't work quite as well on, but if you're not trying to paint, like Galadriel type figures where they just ooze light out every pore,
right?
It works very, very well. It does.
Agrax equals liquid talent. Yes. Yes. Yeah. As does contrast paints. So I'm looking forward to Army Painter and their quick paint scheme. Now I did see a video. The guy got 3 different colors of it, and he tested it out. He said the nice thing that he noticed is the consistency between the 3 paints.
Yeah, the opacity concentration. So
yes.
You don't have, like with the contrast paints, some of them are really opaque.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
The reds are pretty good. I really like Blood Angels Red, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is, contrast Blood Angels Red. very good. I use it for like redcoats in small scales constantly. Constantly, man.
Here you
And
go.
it works great. But then some others just kind of don't do it quite so well. The greens, I'm not a huge fan of.
No, the blue that I like is that well, this one right here.
I have the
The
ultramaline blue, and it works pretty good for what I'm
Talisar
using.
blue.
Oh,
This
that's
one
the
works
slightly
really
lighter
well.
one? Yeah.
This one works really well.
Are those choo-choo trains?
Yes, they are.
Oh, snap. What's up, Jeffy?
Capitals just beat the shit out of the Rangers 5-1.
You can't argue with
Hey.
that. Anytime a
Language.
New York team gets beaten, I'm happy.
And Alex Ovechkin scored 2 goals on opening night.
There
Sweet.
you go.
Hockey.
Dave
right.
says
What are we,
CV38
Canadian, eh?
CL55 looking great. Thank you, Dave. And Chuck says, Hex, you don't like naval games? The only naval games he plays are his own belly button.
Yeah.
Or with my rubber ducky in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Good.
And
He's
then
sitting there
Bunko
like
says,
he's sitting there like the start of Billy Madison. That's his naval gaming.
right.
Shampoo's better.
I had figured out a way to mix Reaper paints to make something that worked exactly the same as Agrax, but can't remember the mix ratio.
Story of my life, man. Again, oh Jesus, I just had it. Army Painter's Dark Tone is very, very similar. It dries slightly quicker on some things. I don't like it quite as much as Agrax, but I do like the dries sooner than tomorrow morning.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Jay says just bought a bottle of Talisar Blue at the FLGS. Yes. And we lost him. Okay. Bye. Allie's magic recipe for shading.
Oh, this you're talking
Peter
about what is
says.
it? Allie Morrison or whatever his name is? Ailey?
And then Chuck says, gotta try old Avalon Hill trireme. Nothing more fun than yelling, ramming speed, and center punching the enemy vessel. You got that right, brother.
That's true.
Here you see
a number of triremes.
There he's back.
Wrong goddamn button. Trying to look at the chat and the video at the same time on my cell phone doesn't work.
Okay. Here you've got, I believe that is HMS Frobisher right here.
We're doing Lord of the Rings now?
That's HMS Frobisher. And then this is the Queen Mary. She was never painted like this in real life. She was just plain
I think
gray.
she was dead by World War II, if I recall correctly.
No, the ship named after Queen Mary.
Oh,
Mary.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, so my father-in-law at the time, said, "Here's Queen Mary. I'm going to challenge you to paint it in a dazzle pattern." Challenge accepted. You're going to give me a $25 model to do whatever the hell I want with it, as long as it's done up in a dazzle pattern. Challenge accepted. And then he said, you also have to put it on your table to play.
Okay. Done.
Okay.
It's
I'll make a scenario where it just goes hell-bent for leather from corner to corner, and the Germans have to sink it.
Which works pretty good because the thing could make well over 30 knots. So, yeah. Good luck, Krauts.
There was one where
That thing was like the original
they decided
transport.
the German players got to decide which ships they were going to bring, and they brought 2. The Gneisenau and the Bismarck.
Yeah.
And as Chuck was talking about, ramming speed and center punching the enemy vessel, the shell landed right about here between stack 1 and stack 2, and it powder magazined.
Yeah.
It was literally the second turn of the game.
Bismarck is fairly good at that.
They just got really, really good. The OG is in the house.
Oh, what's up, Devin? Hey, buddy.
Wow.
Devin, happy birthday to the Navy.
Yeah, that's right.
Squidlies.
So did the anti-sub dazzle camouflage work against the U-boats? Considering I have yet to be able to really get a good hold on submersible combat in my game, there were no U-boats. So again, when I put my game out to you guys to peruse and to just obliterate, if anybody's got great ideas on how to combine submersible combat with surface combat, by all means, bring it to the table.
Yeah, with the game master, unfortunately.
He says, don't forget the Navy's birthday is also no broad day. Coincidence? I think not.
I'm not wearing one.
Yeah, you never do. We could only hope that someday you'd get that much class.
Right.
We could quit seeing those things all up in a cattywampus.
I'm a child of the 60s. Free them. Let them fly.
Let's see here. I'm still eyeballing old
Some
photos
people
to
I'd be
see if
all
I can
in favor of
find.
that. Sorry, Jeff.
Oh, you're talking about Agrax Earthshade and Liquid Talent. There you go. Also, a perfect example of how the base will make the model look better.
Yeah, block paint.
Ooh,
Wash to success, baby.
that's very nice.
Thank you.
That's all this giant right here was. Hang on, I can grab that.
Are you gonna put any paint on that crap in the middle of your table there?
He's working on it.
No.
I'm currently painting stuff right now, you crap sack. Why don't you get a friggin' model and then we
Which
can
was
talk?
Robin Hood. I'm waiting for you to send me some World War II stuff.
Oh, that's right. I'm going to send him.
If someone
15
had to be
millimeter
Robin
World
Hood,
War II.
here would be this guy right here in the green.
Todd and I are going to.
Okay.
Oh, I have a Robin Hood model somewhere around here.
Oh,
I have
dude.
Footsore's Robin Hood.
Whose stuff is that?
That's mine.
That's nice. Nice. How old is it?
That's about 10 years.
Yeah, looks good.
Back when I thought playing Saga was a good idea.
God, that game sucked, man.
What's
That
that?
game was not. I did not like that game.
Oh, here we go. Here's some
There was a
more.
lot of hype associated with that game, and it did not live up.
Yeah.
Like,
Here.
Gotta wait another month before that hardcover arrives. Now.
Dun, dun, dun.
play sheets sucked.
Those are good.
The entire idea of the play sheets was dumb. It takes proprietary dice. Dumb. Like, I just.
Proprietary dice. When you say proprietary, you mean ones that have specific symbols on them for damage and stuff like that?
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
this is-
each faction had its own dice set, and there were like 17 factions.
Oh, good grief.
So,
Yeah,
like,
so-
you know, the Norse would have a stag and a raven and an axe, and then the Saxons would have a sword and a kite shield and, you know, a different kind of bird.
yeah.
And, you know, you would need, if you were playing the Saxons, you needed one kite shield to do this and a kite shield and a bird to do this, or two birds to do that. And it was just one of those, this is stupid. And that's
So-
the entirety of activation. So, like, your troops, like, you know, your shitty little guys could go the entire game and you just wouldn't be able to activate them. Like, oh, that's fun. I mean,
I
I can't
think-
wasted this.
That a show that should be done here soon would be a small scale miniatures naval battle on a tabletop.
We could do
That could
that
happen.
like in an hour on your channel whenever we're done, Jeff.
Not me, you, and not Jay, and whoever else.
That's what I'm saying. I could just go grab it and we could play Steamer Wars like
You all should
Whenever we
do
want
a
to.
battle because I want to see that big 100 number come up. So I'm thinking you plan it a week ahead of time and you post the pre-video of what you're going to do. Doesn't matter what. Doesn't have to be your typical. If you got to change it to a different night so the McMurray's off, and you pre-post that thing a week ahead of time, we're going to get to that 100.
Yep, I think so. Chuck says, yesterday I put white primer on my cowboy figures, and tomorrow I'm going to see how bad my painting skills are. Come on, Chuck. I think you'll do great. Just remember, Agrax is your friend.
You're going to do great, Chuck.
Bunkhouse says, proprietary dice are one of those things that should go away. Novelty dice is one thing, but come on.
Yep.
I have to agree.
More. Couldn't agree more. They are dumb as hell.
I own one game with proprietary dice. Can you guess which game it is?
Sorry.
No.
Med War Sicily.
You got it. Med War Sicily. Oh, Sicily.
Med War Sicily has proprietary dice.
I still got it. And I will play it again.
Here's one of my
dice.
Elizabeth.
What does one side say, like AED? The other one says stent. The other one says double bypass, or what?
Yeah.
Well, that's what Brian's wife bought him for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
That in a bag of tacos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I was about to say, did you tuck your baby aspirin into your tacos today, Warmuck?
No, I didn't have any tacos today, man.
Or your shawarma? Sorry.
Shawarma. That's good stuff. That's the first time I had it.
I know, and you went back for seconds.
Yeah, I did.
Hey, Brian, don't you worry, buddy. I'm right here with you.
It's actually real healthy for you.
Holy Christ, on a bike, Jeff.
What was that again?
3 pills and a vitamin every day.
Good Lord.
That's just for his birth control.
More shots of my ships.
Yeah.
Since this is the naval gaming show.
Yeah, you're going to have to give me more time if I'm pulling out all the random naval.
There's my naval. There's my naval.
What do you got? Hold on.
It's the TT Combat cargo.
Oh, yeah, I got one of those. Those are cool little boats to put together.
I'm going to get a couple more and going to have a pirates, like modern pirates, whatever.
Yep, I did that with that thing. I got the Black Site Studios big ship when it came out, so it was like 30 or something % off. It was less than $100 for that whole 4-foot long thing.
Yeah,
that's already colored and painted and stuff. Yeah, you just got to put it together. It's like a foreground.
Neat thing about the boat games is it's real cheap to go get some blue felt.
Yep, exactly. Actually, I'll tell you what's cheaper. You get online, Brian, and you can get a photo backdrop like they use in school pictures.
Oh, really?
That's like a blue. Yeah, it's got a little more color variant than the felt.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a tie-dye type thing, but I got one that's 5 foot by 7 foot, and I think I paid like $8 for it or something like that.
There you go.
It was quite outstanding. Yeah.
Cool.
It's just you get a little more color variant than just the felt, and it tends to be a little easier to move ship bases around on.
All I care about is it's blue, it's water. Hey, man.
No, I know. I'm just saying that it's a little bit cheaper. It tends to be a little bit more user friendly as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Fine, I won't try and help anymore.
No, that was great. I'll look into it.
You should just get a great big blue kitchen sponge. Or even better.
I, for one, am happy to see this chit chat tonight because other than Nache's stuff on Wednesday night, we sure haven't had much activity because of everything that's going on.
You mean because Todd's moving?
Todd's moving. You've been working like a dog.
Yeah, accurate.
Brian can't stay away from the taco stand. It's good to see him on here.
Well, it's during my dinner hour, and whatever.
So, who remembers? Who remembers the game that came out about 10 years ago called Leviathans?
Remember the movie?
The World War I game?
Kind of World War I
but it's like semi-fantasy
with the flying battleships.
Yeah, kind of like Dystopian Wars or whatever, but not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I got a chance to, not only I have a chance to play the game, and it's meh, but I do have a crap ton of these.
Of those ships?
Yes, of the ships.
That's kind of cool. You could tie that into a Victorian airship type thing pretty simply.
Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, I am thinking
Starfighters, baby, all day long.
that all day long with them.
Does
I was thinking full thrust, but
either one would work.
um,
Full thrust would probably work pretty well.
full thrust is a fun game.
It is. I had a
The
blast
thing-
playing it with Jay.
The thing with full thrust though is you got to come up with those ship charts.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it was helpful when Jay Wiley built those for Starfighters as well when we played Victorian airships with it.
Yeah.
I was about to say, does that count as naval for the purposes of this show?
What?
Victorian airships?
Sure.
Yeah, Victorian sci-fi airships are pretty delightful. I have a major problem with those after playing in a game with Jay. Thanks, Jay. Again, also because me and I have a problem. I have them in two different scales. One in the traditional scale, which looks like... Oh, where's the cool looking one? Which looks like this.
Hold on. Let me
Right.
pull you up big.
These sorts of things. Ooh, that's not a good example. Wait a minute. Where is it? There's that cool one. These are cool. These are the Brigade Games models.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not Brigade Games. Brigade models. And these are a lot of the old sculpts that I got dirt cheap, which I was really cool and happy about because they're really cool looking. And then I realized, wait, they're old. They're going out of. Damn it! Now I can't buy these anymore. These particular sculpts, they have updated sculpts that are a little bit different. So again, in this sort of scale, which is pretty fun to play. And then also because I have a problem, like we've established time and time again. The other scale is 28 millimeter.
Yeah.
So here is this thing, and then its scale equivalent is no, not that one. Hang on. I've got scale equivalents of it. Just a moment. In the original traditional.
Okay, back.
Bunkhouse says, only naval game I played was Battlefleet Gothic, back right before they axed it. Very satisfying moments when you get a good broadside set up and fired off.
Oh, yeah.
Battlefleet Gothic was a good game. I enjoyed it.
I have BFG also.
I also, you have a problem, sir.
Ooh, what's this? What's this?
Victorian sci-fi airships. This is the traditional scale. This is 28 millimeter. These are the same vessel.
Yeah.
I have problems. Those are cool though, and I got a bunch of Old Glory guns to put on here. This is another one of those things that I painted up crews for, and I'm just.
Oh, we're going through your closet, aren't we?
No, this is all stuff that's sitting honestly within reach of my hobby desk.
Oh.
Like I just told Chris, if we're going through all my naval stuff, you're gonna have to give me like a day or two's notice or a week or so.
Yeah. Just real quick, McMurray, take a look at the screen.
Oh, gorgeous! Yeah, are those thoroughbred?
No, these are 28 millimeter.
Okay, not 15. That's pretty awesome. You know,
Yeah.
I was about to say thoroughbred makes 15s that look very similar to that.
These were for sale at Recruits an ass long time ago.
Yeah, those are pretty cool looking. I like those. I got a ton of 15 millimeter naval stuff because I wanted to play, like, again, Age of Sail naval gaming, but most of the Age of Sail naval gaming models suck balls. But I realized I could buy 1 to 100-ish scale models and cut them to waterline. Yeah, see, that's just, it's cool looking. It's well painted, but it's way too tubby looking for me, man.
How would you play those? I mean, how big of a game board would you have to have? To
Look
play?
at
Well-
it. It's friggin' huge. It's like 8 foot wide by 20-something feet long.
Well, considering that this is a 4-foot ceiling tile, the light tiles,
Yeah.
Oh.
and it's too wide. Yeah, it's 8 feet across, and this particular table was about 24 feet long.
Yeah, is
Jeez.
Is that Fistful of Seamen? Those guys?
Yeah, it's Fistful of Seamen.
Yeah, they have a bunch of those 8x24 tables, Jeff, that they set up. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Here.
Again, that's part of why I did 15 as well.
There you
because,
go.
A, that was a relatively plentiful. Yeah, that looks better. That's the Old Glory Galleon. Those are the Old Glory miter-hatted Marines. Unfortunately, some of those are coming.
It's just way too big.
No, it's not.
It's way too big.
Why not just get RC boats and play in a pond?
Because then they sink, Jeff.
I watched that guy shooting submarines today on a dock.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty slick. Shooting
That
torpedoes.
There you go.
Yeah. That's
The models are gorgeous.
That one's not too bad looking. I kind of like that one.
Well, the models are pretty. I'm just trying to comprehend playing something with that. I mean, granted, it'd be cool to look at, but the table that you would have to have.
Yeah, it's a convention game, man. It's played in a convention hall.
Yeah.
I've seen guys play it on either gym floors or on those little like movable computer desks that are like, you know, a 1 inch or not a 1 inch, a 1 foot like circle or a 16-inch circle that then have like essentially, you know, rolly chair legs or feet on them. And I've seen people do that as well. So that way they don't have to worry about people stepping on them. So the models stay at about, you know, 36 inches, 4 feet maybe above the thing. Oh yeah, snap into a Slim Jim. What the hell's wrong with you, Ormut? Hexy Nimitz I saw. I was like, yeah, it makes sense. But oh yeah, snap into a Slim Jim. That's fair. Good for you, bud.
All right. Give me your top 5 naval games, miniature naval games.
For what
Easy
era?
to learn.
What era?
Battleship.
Oh, Battleship. Yeah, that's a
World War I, World War II.
Any.
So for Napoleonic, I really enjoy the game. It is warm work, and I've mentioned it on the War Room. I don't know how many times. Nowhere else, I don't know how many times. It's a good, just simple balance of we can get some table, we can play it. Boom. That's fun.
What game? What was the game title? What?
It is warm work.
It is
warm work. You can get it on War Games Vault for like $6.
all right.
Sometimes it's cheaper on sale. Yeah. I really enjoy it. It's simple. It's not bad. I don't know how many Napoleonic era rule sets. Sea Eagles by Thoroughbred Miniatures is pretty good if you're playing with larger scale ships, like where you can have guys moving around on deck.
Well, let's say like you know the size of what is it the Warlords one that we were always Victory at Sea size.
Victory at Sea. Well, that's the issue with Victory at Sea, right? Black sails is what it is. Is that it's in a weird like middle range, right? You get like 1/300 for 1 or 2 ships in an action, which are cool to play, because there you've got a first-rate ship. You know, HMS Victory is right about 11 or 12 inches long, so it's just this like baton of resin, right, that you're moving around the table, and it's super cool. Or if you want to get like squadron actions in, then most people just drop down to 1/1000, 1 to 1200, which is super good, because then you can get, if you have got a little more money to spend but not as much time, you can get Sails of Glory ships.
Sails of Glory, okay.
Because they're not, honestly, they're about the same price as if you were to go to like GHQ or something and buy a ship, except for they're already made and already painted. They're not, you know, the sails snap off of them, but you know, you just keep plastic glue and you're fine. Other than that, a lot of people will play
Kiss Me Hardy.
What's up?
You also have Kiss Me Hardy.
You do. That was one of the next ones I was getting to. Kiss Me Hardy. Again, it's a little more involved, but once you get into it, it's really intuitive.
Yeah, that one's by Two Fat Lardies.
It is. It's very good. Which also then means there's just an ungodly amount of support on it. These little fellas are GHQ. We've got a
Oh, cool.
bunch of them sitting up here. They're delicate. So just like Sails of Glory, you've got to be careful with them, but they're pretty fun. Other naval games that I enjoy, anything by David Manley. If you get on War Games Vault, you either go look him up as David Manley, or his company is called Long Face Games.
Long face. All right.
Any of those that you play one, and you're going to have a basic idea of how to play the others.
If he doesn't have a horse for his logo,
he does.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to flip tables.
Yeah. But so those are fun games. And again, the basic, building blocks of most of them are quite similar. But then he's got games for all kinds of random periods. That's where I was playing Steamer Wars, which is specifically built for Lake Tanganyika in 1914 and 15.
Cool. I'll check these out then.
Those are good in terms of, but then he's got, you want to play World War II, if you want to play this, like for these guys, I was thinking about playing Columbiad and Dahlgren. Cool. And you can always, as long as you're just working with guns and boats, once you get motors, it's a really, really easy conversion from starfighters. Sails have a little bit more trouble working into starfighters, but once you've got, motored propulsion, starfighters works really, really good. Peter is correct. Sea Krieg is I've played Sea Krieg. I've played Command at Sea. Those are both very good. The original Victory at Sea by Mongoose Games, Brian, you can still get copies of that pretty cheap, and that's a great game. Again, it's a good balance of not really complex, but not 4-hull, 4 guns and everything.
Cool, thanks.
So if you want 1-to-1 scale, there's my all-time favorite warship.
Yeah, that's the USS Illinois.
Yeah, no.
And
no.
Because that's Chris's favorite state and Uss's favorite boat. It's preserved in Chicago, his all-time favorite place.
Never been there.
And it is permanently crewed by retired, now LA Raiders players, which just makes it everything Chris loves.
Yeah, you're killing me. No, that obviously, of course, is USS Texas. The only ship left still floating that served both World War I and World War II.
Yeah, dude, that's the ship that flooded a torpedo bulge to add an extra 3 degrees of incline or of elevation to its guns because fuck those Germans just a little bit farther inland.
Yep.
Yeah. The grand equivalent of some gunnery officer passing a blunt off to the next guy like, hey, can we ford the torpedo bulges? Watch this. Yeah.
Get us a few couple thousand more yards.
Yeah, but what if? And hear me out, guys. What if?
What if we could get to 28-degree elevation?
Yeah. We need 19 miles. Or I'm sorry, I think 21 miles was the max effective range or the max range. So what if we got 22 and a half, man? Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Good times. Good times off Omaha.
Yeah, I've actually stepped foot on 2 different battleships, an aircraft carrier, a destroyer escort, and a submarine.
Been on a destroyer escort, a kite carrier. Actually, I think Kid down in Baton Rouge is a Fletcher, so that's not a destroyer escort. That's a destroyer.
The Kid's a Fletcher.
Fleet destroyer. Yeah, it's a fleet destroyer. And then does U-505 in Chicago count as a submarine?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it?
Okay. I mean, because it's no longer a submarine. There's great big holes in the side of the hull.
It's still a submarine. I mean,
Okay, that's fair.
I've done
Okay.
inserts all off of LSTs. Does that count?
I've been on Constitution as well. I'm just not quite old enough to remember enough of it to, get myself there at night. But my buddy is in the Navy. He just got reassigned to Newport or I don't remember. Anyways, long story short, he's close enough to Constitution for school that he got to walk through the entirety of the ship.
oh, nice.
With somebody that he had served with previously, who's now one of the officers on Constitution. And so that dick sent me a bajillion pictures of it because he knows I'm insanely jealous. And at some point in time, I'm going to boss it with him. So yeah, that's going to happen because, he needed a way to incite me to visit New England. And well, he figured it out.
Yeah, that'll get you there.
Yes, it will.
So if you didn't have the problem you have,
Yeah.
what would be
At
your
least-
scale of choice for, and it'll be done by era, for Napoleonics, and then for World War I/World War II?
World War I/II, definitely. Oh, shit. I was about to say definitely 1/2400, but man, I'll tell you what, 1/6000 is pretty tempting because
One
that's
6000 is minuscule.
it is, but it's right at true, well, close enough to true 1 foot to the
Yeah.
mile that you can play stuff out at the true scale, which is, as you guys know, one of my problems. One of the things I enjoy doing. How about that? So that, despite the fact that, yes, it is tiny, and yes, the ships are probably a pain to, well, actually, I take that back. They're probably easy as shit to paint.
Yeah.
That would be pretty darn cool to do.
Because
but
what is 1 to 6,000? That's
it's tiny.
1 foot in real life is how
6,000 feet. So
Six-
it's just over a mile.
to a foot.
Because a mile is 500, 200, or 5,280 feet.
Okay, so 880 feet. Well, I mean, if you go 1/6000 and you go nautical miles, because nautical miles is 6,000 feet.
Which is
Right.
why that scale is
Yeah.
like this. But yeah.
So, what is the length of USS Missouri at 8?
Tiny. Under an inch, probably. Because it's
Wow.
under it. Well,
You're
no, I'm sorry. So USS Missouri is over a tenth of a mile is 500 and, again, just under 5,300 feet. So 1 inch would be right about 530 feet. So it's probably about an inch and a half because it's like 900 feet long, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 880.
Yeah, so it's probably just under 2 inches long.
That is tiny.
Yeah.
See, I would be thinking closer to the 1/3000.
Again, yeah, 1/2400. If I was for the beauty of the models, it'd be 1/2400 because that's where the best models, at least
Yeah.
in my mind, are made. The prettiest looking models are usually, again, at least in my mind, your mileage may vary, like 1/2400 GHQ models because they are incredibly well done. And if I was only doing one scale, then I wouldn't have to worry nearly as much about,
Yeah.
the budget. So
This is
GHQ
one of
would
my
not be out of
all-time favorite photos. This is USS Lexington in Corpus Christi.
Yeah, I stayed on that the Gray Ghost. I stayed on that as a Boy Scout overnight or for a week one time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I snapped that photo with my iPhone 5.
Super cool. I remember
Did-
being a little kid.
Did not go aboard that time. But I did previously.
Yeah, I remember being a little kid in Baton Rouge going on Kid and thinking it was the biggest fucking thing
Yeah.
I'd
Aren't they
ever
cute?
seen.
Aren't they cute, Dev?
Yeah.
and it's a yeah, it is Devin. Yeah. You know what else? Never mind. We're not going to get into that.
I'm gonna go cut a tree.
Yeah. Rum sodomy in the lash, Devin. Rum sodomy in the lash. So, as a direct descendant of the Royal Navy, you guys get to keep 2 of those. Your choice.
Well, the
No,
U.S.
no.
Navy kiboshed the rum, so
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. So there you go. Sorry, Devin. But yeah, like being on a full-blown battleship would just be awe-inspiring.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what about for Napoleonics? What's your go-to scale for Napoleonics?
Again, see, that's a tricky one because I really like playing, frigate actions and cutting outs and everything else.
Right.
You're a devilish man, Christopher Arnold. What I'm gonna have to say 1 to 1200. If I could, I would split it into, like miniatures games where I could move, like, where the ships could be a play surface, and then one where the ships were the playing pieces, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably do like 15 mil and 1 to 1200. But
Yeah, I like 1 to 1200. Again, it's because of what GHQ.
Yeah, GHQ
produces.
and CNC in both cases make gorgeous models in those scales.
Yeah, ridiculously stupid beautiful.
Yeah, and that's not to say that Tumbling Dice's 1 to 1200 or 1 to 2400 stuff isn't gorgeous.
Right.
Gorgeous. But yeah, Peter, that's also a part of my issue with World War II stuff, because you get, fleet battleships, and fleet carriers trolling along at 30-something knots, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, this is goofy. Okay. This thing's a fucking speedboat.
Right.
But, that's neither here nor there. It's all fun. It's all fun and games.
Until somebody puts their eye out.
Until your PT boat gets cut in half by a destroyer.
Yep. Then you go and win the presidential election.
Yeah.
Because your opponent doesn't look good on television.
Well, that's fine. You look good enough on television to bang Marilyn Monroe, so that counts.
And get shot a year later.
Well, that's fair. But Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Not that Jackie was doing anything bad either, but.
I mean, she was good enough to pull a shipping magnet.
Tycoon? Yeah.
Aristotle Onassis.
Well, it certainly wasn't the original Aristotle.
I say he did.
I tell you, he did. He died at least 75 years ago.
Who? The original Aristotle?
Yeah.
Yeah, at least 75 years ago.
I'm not wrong. Okay.
No, you're not.
It's always one of my favorites. It's like, you're not technically wrong, but you're just a dick. You're like, yes, you're right. George Washington did cross the Delaware more than 50 years ago.
I was there.
But you're really making some people confused right now.
Like, there's a comedy bit that Bill Cosby did back in the 60s, talking about his granddad. And be talking to him, it's like, you know who died yesterday? A lot of people. What again, with the whole, we understand you have a problem.
Yeah.
If if you A, didn't have the problem, or B, as an intervention, we said you could only do one era.
Napoleonic.
Yeah, he'd be sail, wooden ship sail.
Yeah.
That being said, I hate the hobby aspect of that so much. I hate the hobby aspect of Age of Sail Wargaming so much. It hurts.
Good thing I didn't buy that game for you today. I was going to buy.
No, I mean, are you kidding me? I still paint them all the fucking time. But yeah, like again, I think I painted my Reichie Marina stuff. Or what was it? I painted my my Panzerschiff Kriegsmarine, Chris, when I was live with you in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And that's not a small fleet if anybody wants to go back and watch that video. Like, there were probably 13, 14, upwards of a dozen and a half ships in there. And with World War II, especially with Panzerschiff models, it doesn't take long.
No.
Panzerschiff models are excellent gaming pieces, man. I'm so happy I found those. They're affordable. They're simple. And, oh, man. Yeah, they are outstanding. I am a big fan of those. I'm going to try and dig those out real quick here while I got the cap on that paint. Let's see. They were over here. Well, I don't know. There's the slim cases. Oh, okay. Do you remember?
So the answers for me for those questions that I just asked McMurray would be for World War II, I'm tempted to go to 1-3000. I really am. But the look of the 1/2400 scale ships are just
astounding.
They're phenomenal. And as most of you know, I'm not a fan of the whole painting thing. But as I do with my Star Wars miniatures, I take time and effort to really do a good job on my World War II models.
Oh, here's a cool comparison real quick.
Let me bring you up here. Let me bring you up.
Popped open. Here is Bismarck from CNC. Again, good model.
Hold on.
Nothing wrong with that model. Or not CNC, Panzerschiff. Right in the center. I don't know why that's not focusing.
Oh, come on.
Whatever. Here we go. So there is Bismarck from Panzerschiff. Good model. Real simple.
Not horrible. Not horrible.
Yeah, it's one piece of resin. The barrels are cast directly onto the deck, so you're not gluing turrets and shit on. You get the piece of resin, you paint the piece of resin, you play with the piece of resin. Here is the GHQ Bismarck with most of the pieces attached. So as you can see, they're the same scale.
Yep.
GHQ one is just obnoxiously intricate.
Yeah.
There's probably a dozen or so pieces on here.
And the thing is, and I may be inaccurate at this point, but as of 20 years ago, I think even 10 years ago, they still were hand carving all of their models.
I believe they still are.
And they are.
Here's some Italians. So
they are more
Littorio.
They are more scale model than the other brands out there.
They are. They're far more scale model than gaming piece.
And I love them, and I hate them.
Here's Zara. You can see the ships the planes on the catapults, the whole 9 yards.
I love them because they're so beautiful.
Yeah, I hate painting them though.
Even the ugliest ship out there is a beautiful model.
Yeah, here's one. San Gregorio.
Oh,
Or the Italian.
that slug.
The weird, like, yeah, pre-dreadnought that the Italians still had afloat.
But look, it's still a beautiful model.
Gorgeous, man, gorgeous. I need to. put the
Even though it's
faces
an
on these.
ugly ship in real life, you still want to play with that model.
Even the destroyers are gorgeous.
Yeah. It's crazy.
But
I hate them because being as intricate as they are means that they are breakable.
Again,
Very breakable.
that's the good thing about these things. They are.
Yeah,
Goddamn
that's why
indestructible.
Panzerschiff is. I
Again,
wish
the ultimate gaming piece. You can
Yeah.
make them more than presentable. They're blocky enough that they're easy to see, man. What they remind me of is they're the perfect like ship recognition thing. You know, if you're trying to train
Yeah.
people, this is what this class looks like. You got, two swept back stacks separated, two rear turrets, one front facing, one rear, and two front turrets, both front facing. Boom. There you go. That's a German Z class destroyer.
Yep.
That's fantastic. I cannot say enough good about these things. I really enjoy them. Same sort of thing. We got right here. Yeah.
See
Bam.
back in the
Pocket
day.
battle clip.
Back in the day, I was not a fan of Panzerschiff. I was a
Yeah.
GHQ snob. Then I
Dick.
realized after running my game multiple
Yeah.
times and having to have globs of glue holding masts back on, and then just saying fuck it, not having masts at all. I realized the beauty of the Panzerschiff model.
Craft Zeppelin. And the fact that this thing is $3.
Yeah,
And the
GHQ. Last time I looked, the
21.
GHQ was like 16 or 17. Is it up to like 21 now?
it would not surprise me. I know most of the big carriers. That Graf Zeppelin would have been $21 from GHQ.
Let's take a look here.
There you go. I was about to say, Christian, you can't
GHQ.com.
Google it. What the hell are you asking me questions for?
I didn't know if you had bought one recently.
No. I ordered a bunch of stuff from CNC because it's kind of the happy medium there, both in terms of intricacy and price. Like most of the CNC stuff has separate turrets, maybe separate aircraft and stuff, but that's about it. Maybe a separate crane or two, but it's not nearly as recognizable when you don't have it on there as it is with the GHQ stuff. Actually, I take that back. I think I had a cart filled for CNC and then said, you know what, screw this, and ordered it all from Panzerschiff.
Nice.
Here's a fun there's a fun Naval War Games model for us.
Hold on, let me take a look. Oh yeah, there you go.
My angry African queen. Here's my pre-dirtied up, far too clean, just primed African queen. These are cool. Sea Dog Studios out of Chicago makes these. Very, very happy with those. You get the two of them for like $16, something obnoxious. They're 3D printed, so again, you just got to be careful with the washes sometimes, but they work really well. They're good stuff.
All right. 1850 for the Bismarck.
Yeah. And then on Panzerschiff, it is fun.
Panzerschiff.
Product, World War II, German ships, and Bismarck is, they got a price increase, $6. So a third of the cost. Very, again, that's one of those absolutely worth the not a disqualifier.
Yeah,
to be
the Graf Zeppelin is $21.95.
Yeah, exactly. Graf Zeppelin here is, it's going to be all the way at the bottom. It might actually be $750. Yeah. So again, right at a third of the cost. The other cool thing is, very much like GHQ, Panzerschiff makes a huge line, whether it's Spanish-American War, like pre-dreadnoughts, so
Yeah.
Russo-Japanese, World War One. Oh wow, they have ACW. I didn't realize that. All the way through World War II, and modern ships, as well as like proposed things. So I've got a bunch of O-class vessels for the Germans that were, like Plan Z ships that were never created, obviously, but are still cool to game. And those are pretty cool. Those are pretty slick. The one thing I'm sad they don't have, they have a Königsberg for World War One, but they don't have Mir C class monitors because, again, due to the fact that I have a problem, I wanted to play the Königsberg in the Rafiji Delta because why wouldn't I want to play combat between the one German light cruiser that was stuck in the Indian Ocean during World War One?
Yeah.
With the random crap that the British threw at it. So, yeah, because of course. But I've also always wanted to put together forces for Falklands and Cornell, which I do have. Those are what I got, but I got them from Tumbling Dice because Tumbling Dice makes very, very nice World War One models as well. I got those from Tumbling Dice. I know I've pulled those out when we're on live before because those are usually sitting with my Steamer Wars stuff.
Holy
cannoli
nuggets!
What'd you find, buddy?
So I was the most expensive World War II ship they've got are the Missouri, the Iowa, the Montana. What if the Alaska? $21.95.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
So I also know that they make a modern line.
Yep.
And I just wanted to see what the aircraft carriers were. CVN 71 USS Roosevelt. $43.95.
Yeah. In all fairness, it's probably 6 inches long. But yes.
And it does have all the airplanes.
Oh shit. That's where you get the cost then.
44 bucks.
Yeah.
Again, they're scale models more than gaming pieces.
Yep.
And in all fairness, you're getting one of the best or some of the best, quality gaming pieces on the market, period. Langton, age of sale stuff is the same way. You're paying for a 1 to 1200 age of sale model, you're looking at 20 something bucks. But they're gorgeous. They're just absolutely beautiful. And they make some 1 to 300 stuff too. I got a bunch of their 1 to 300. They make a bunch of small boats. So like, jolly boats and whalers and stuff like that.
Right.
I've got a bunch of those and they look great. They're significantly more budget minded, but again, they are just beyond gorgeous. They got individual crews sculpted with them. I bought a bunch of 1 to 300 scale crew to go with those that they sell. That's just gorgeous. Yeah, can't speak highly enough about them, to be honest with you.
Now there is a company. You know what I mean? Company. I mean a guy in the Dallas area that makes I think they're ostensibly 1/1200th scale Napoleonics, and I can't remember off the top of my brain what the name of the company, what this guy's company name is. I've got a couple of photos of them though, and if I can find them.
That makes 1/900 scale stuff. That's kind of cool. Not really my cup of tea, and a little more expensive than I'd like to pay for something that small. But
Is this
again, the thing about Napoleonics is there's always people that are going to want to play it, and they're usually rather peculiar about what scale they play. They don't really necessarily. Some of them really care. Some will just kind of play whatever they can find that has the ships they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's
All
the
right.
issue with Age of Sail stuff is that just the variety of ships at any one point in time is massive,
There you go.
and then B, the fact that this conflict was going on for 30 straight years. Hang on, I clicked off of StreamYard. Oh yeah. What is his name? Yeah, they're really kind of abstracted. They're kind of cool.
Yeah. I can't remember the name off the top of my brain.
He posts on TMP all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, for what they are, they're great, and they're not that expensive. I mean,
Yeah.
like this guy right here.
I think those are the 1 to 900 ones that I'm thinking about.
Maybe it is. Yeah. I couldn't remember.
Because I think he
But-
only sells the hulls. That are their hull and sails separate. Like like
You can buy the sails, but they're separate, or the masts. But the masts are just wire,
Yep.
thick brass or
Yep.
bronze or whatever. But I think this model here is like $9.
Yeah, exactly.
And for what they are, I mean, they are designed to be plain pieces. And the reason that they're on these big wooden blocks is that he's got boxes with plastic rails in them
Mm-hmm.
that you slide these into, and that's how you carry them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is definitely the company I'm thinking of. I believe those are 1-900.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, they're not anything special, but
They're cool, man. They are awesome. Like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? They're gorgeous. Yeah. Yeah. I like. Again, it's naval, man. I love it. And
and
There's
then of
always
course,
something new. Always
when you
something
when you extrapolate out into space, of course, you've got all kinds of different games. You've got, of course, one of my all-time favorites, Full Thrust, which, by the way, is free.
Yeah, I was about to say you can get it free. I know you can get at least the light version for free. I think
No,
the
you can
whole
get the
thing's
full
free.
version for free.
Yeah.
And in fact, there is such a big community, online community, that somebody or several somebodies have gone out together and made a compendium of all the different
Yeah.
stuff.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
it's all free.
I was looking at those on Wargames Vault when I was putting together my last order to Office Depot for printed rules. Yeah, they have. That's right.
Yeah.
I was
So,
looking at it, and I said, "Ooh, there's too much here. I don't know what I'm looking for," and then had to put it on the back burner. But yeah,
but I really enjoy Full Thrust Light because it's what Jay uses for his Star Trek game,
dude, it's so good too.
and it's perfect for a convention.
I have zero interest whatsoever in Star Trek. I find it not compelling at all. But damn, I had a ton of fun playing that game. The rules were great. Jay ran a great game. Yeah.
So
And you guys were absolutely right in terms of it was that simple to pick up.
yeah. Chris Long came in with boats, and ouch, $43. Yeah.
Yep.
Chuck says, I believe my trireme models were from CNC, bought last century. Yeah. And
What is-
then, gentlemen, we have a lady in the house. Joanna says, hi, guys. Hello, Joanna.
Joanna, how are you? I think I got so Irregular picked up Alcado's old trireme line and sells them crazy cheap.
Yeah.
They're, I think, nominally 1 to 2,400, which that's pretty small. But at the same time, if you want to play Salamis or something, I mean, you need 400 of the damn things. But Brian, did also hold on before we actually move on into things that are remotely relevant. Brian, were you just giggling because a female is on here?
Yeah. Yes, I was.
Shut up, Brian.
So
Other than
I
Jeff,
I also have done I have done 1-to-1 sailing as well with my father.
what kind of cannon did you have?
Was that?
What kind of guns did you have?
Well, I mean, he's got a 410 shotgun,
Just giving you trouble.
but this is
So-
him on a sailboat down on Canyon Lake.
A .41 pounder.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So
There you
this is him on his sailboat.
Outstanding.
Yeah. I miss that a lot. We would go down on a regular basis from Austin down to my dad's place, and we'd get out down there mid-morning. We'd have some lunch, and then a little bit after lunch, it's like, all right, wind's up, let's go sail.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I miss being able to go do that. We actually have sailed on New Year's Day. It was such a nice day out.
Nice.
Thanksgiving, Christmas. So yeah, I've here. Here we go.
If you ask Brian, it's still too hot to go outside on Christmas because
It's 63 here right now, man. It's cold.
There I am sailing. I'm manning the helm.
there you go. Look at that. Hexy, avert your eyes. We don't need you distracted for the rest of the show.
He bailed on us,
Oh,
and
that's
this is
fine.
the lake we're out on.
Probably for the best.
Pretty big lake.
Yeah, man. Damn.
I was a lot younger and a lot heavier too.
That happens. You look like a happy dude.
So, Chris Long says, looking at doing some modern naval. What rules would you be using? Or would you be using harpoon?
He's
Or
one of
would you
those
be doing
people
something
that we
else?
talked about earlier. Chris, I guarantee you, Chris is going to print those and have them painted. In
Oh,
like
probably
an hour
so.
and a half.
Yeah.
In an
Uh,
hour
he's-
and a half.
He says, been
Yeah.
playing full thrust since the beginning. Awesome rules. Yeah, they are great. And
I am-
Joanna has answered you, says, I'm fine, admiring a good work. They have me fascinated with the small figures.
Yeah,
Well, there you
I don't know
have it.
about good work, but these are tiny figures. Can't say that.
So, my problem is with what I'm painting, I'm dealing with these little over here, they're little divots. So getting it to be, painted all black in there, big pain in the ass.
Yeah, I can see that.
But
They're getting painted.
how awesome is that looking?
It
I
looks
like
really, yeah, it looks really cool.
I like it. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to playing on it this weekend.
Well, we won't be playing on this
I'm
weekend.
just giving you trouble.
You will be playing on it in March, though.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I better be.
Mhm.
Did you see the logo?
I did. March to victory.
Yep. Everybody can thank me for not for the logo, by no means the logo, but the name. The name
Yeah.
March to Victory.
I was just sitting there like losing my mind trying to figure something out because all I could come up with was like march to the drums and stuff like that. And then
Yeah, because that's why I'm cool.
yeah, he's the idea man.
So, yeah, again, the thing with modern naval is unless you're doing like littoral,
I mean, even then the LCSs have missile strike packages. That's
yeah,
good chunk of, well, what I was about to say what they're useful for, but I feel like I'm going to start a fight in the comments on saying that. I feel like a lot of modern naval gamers would fight me for saying that the LCSs are useful. But that's a lot of what they're designed for to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I love reading about that, like in The Hunt for Red October or Red Storm Rising. I love reading about those actions, but actually playing them, we'll have to see what Lock and Load comes out with. They are going to be doing a circa 1985 naval combat, North Atlantic, Soviets versus Americans. So we'll have to see what comes about. We'll have to see.
Shut up.
But yeah, we'll have to see what comes about with those. They may be good. I hope so. We'll run with it and see what happens. Because I would like the ability to play a campaign where what happens in the naval game directly affects what happens in the land-based game.
Oh yeah. I picked up. That's again. I have a problem, right? Okay, you know that. I grabbed naval stuff for that 10 mil campaign that Matt was going to run. I grabbed some Fulton's Claremont models from a couple of them from Lindbergh, and found some 10 millimeter guns to put on them. And yeah, I have problems.
Yeah.
I love how your response was just a snort of derision, just nerd.
I think that if somebody came out with, hey, we're gonna do a Cro-Magnon versus Neanderthal animal hunt, you would find fucking canoes.
I have caveman. I have that rule set.
And
it's just I can't find figures.
You've got canoes, right?
I do have canoes.
Uh-huh.
I scratch built canoes out of cardstock. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I need to scratch build more / larger canoes for I'm thinking about since I've just started building 20 or finishing my 28 millimeter pirates more. I have a problem. So on the way from Old Glory are a lot of cannibals and such. So I have a problem. So there's, a chief and some attendants and 30 dudes and some pirates that are captured and cooking in cauldrons. And
he's Joy Wargaming has joined us.
Hey, what's up?
He says Tusk.
I have Tusk.
I'm fairly certain you're not referring to the Fleetwood Mac song.
No, he's referring to these right here.
Okay.
Yep. I know, John, but I got animals and stuff in 28.
Irregular Miniatures has a ton of cavemen under their Tusk line.
They do. But I've got animals and everything in 28, namely the dinosaurs that I use for Eat Hitler, which is a hilarious game.
They're just bigger versions of what we thought they were.
Everything was bigger there. Maybe we're playing in prehistoric Texas. So
there you go.
That's fair. I guess I could do that. I guess the 15 millimeter caveman will be on my order, Mr. Wargaming, down there at the House of Wargaming. Been watching. It's been good. Those of you guys who haven't looked over at Joy Wargaming, go over and check out his channel too, because it's awesome. He's got some more subs than we do over here, but it's a good channel. You'll enjoy it. You'll have a good time. I guarantee you. You are one step ahead of me. Not quite. You've got me beat on Napoleonics. I wound up painting the starter box in 28 mil for Forager, and I had to stop because I could not stand the uniforms. But yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, at some point in time, Joy of Wargaming is going to have to branch into some larger scale naval stuff. He has been hitting naval pretty hard with Fighting Sail from Osprey, which is a fun rule set. It is a fun rule set. I enjoy it. I pulled out my copy after he had his first episode with it, but I feel like at some point in time, Mr. King of Wargaming over there at the House of Wargaming, you're going to have to get into, again, something where you can move the men around on the table. And I know you've done some pirate stuff, pardon my partially painted pirates. But,
Yar.
but there's some good ones out there too. On the Seven Seas, again from Osprey, it's pretty fun for that. I've played a couple games of that. I really enjoyed Jay Wiley convinced me to, by convinced me, I mean he mentioned it on BSing with the Baron, so I went and found a copy. Shut up, Chris. Convinced me to give
Port Valley?
Pirates by our buddy Thomas Foss back when he was with Flagship Games a try. And those rules are cool. They go about stuff a little bit differently. You know, you're really estimating range, kind of like what you see you doing in Chosen Men for the artillery. You estimate the range on your guns, stuff like that. And there are enough 15 millimeter ships out there, 28 millimeter ships out there that, man, you can find some cool stuff. You guys have seen me. If you guys have been watching many of Not Jay over here's live streams recently, you probably saw me just tear through two little, pretty small 28 millimeter rowboat type things. Not rowboats, but small boats, single masted little guys with maybe a couple swivel guns in the bow. You guys saw me paint up and rig those as soon as I finish getting the black on the steel on this particular ironclad. I will pull those out because go figure. I'm a single dude, so they're sitting right next to the desk here because nobody yells at me to pick my crap up. So there's that.
Right. So
nice.
you've got your problem, right?
It's getting to be maybe a little bit more than just you have your problem, all right. But yes, I do. My name is.
I've got a problem as well.
You gonna pull out your Star Wars?
And it's space games.
Yeah, you do.
Well, this is Battlestar Galactica. So look at these little guys.
Bears eat Battlestar Galactica.
I love them.
I'm lucky enough that sci-fi just doesn't tickle my pickle, man. Holy shnikey, look at those though.
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool. Those really remind me of Battlefleet Gothic, man. Like those rules.
The model's not great, but
Ooh.
But you know what? Oh, and there's
That
a
looks
lizard
cool.
that was at my house.
Yeah, it's a lizard.
But yeah, it's
Those look cool.
I dig. You know, I love Battlestar Galactica. I love Star Trek. I love Star Wars. And anybody that says you can't love both. You can't love Star Wars and you can't love Star Trek.
I
Garbage. love them both.
Yeah, no shit. Get out of here. Don't tell me what I can and can't enjoy.
Yeah, I love Battlestar Galactica. Old and new. I'm not picky. I'm not picky at all.
Katie Sackhoff.
Exactly.
J.D. Sackhoff. Jesus.
He's not wrong.
Here comes Brian. Here's those little guys. Again, I felt bad because I was thinking about doing like hey, let's paint through this. You can see they're slightly rigged.
Rigged enough.
Yeah, basic standing rigging. I wanted to do like hey, check out how we do these, except for I got them as miscasts from Miniature Market, and I don't know if they're actually like super commonly available commercially. And this guy's a little gaff-rigged guy, same sort of thing. But I intend to put one or two swivels in the front of here, probably one here and one here, and then same in the other one. The other one's got a boom on the front, so putting a swivel right in the middle there probably wouldn't work quite as well. But I could probably put two on each in the bow, maybe one in the stern of each of these guys. And there you go. And then dude, for a minute there, I just got a wild hair up my ass and painted basically all the 28 millimeter ships that I had. So there's this guy too.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Painted, did the did the stern castle and the stern windows and everything. I still need to figure out what the hell I want to put up here. I don't know. But again, did that little guy. So
Is that the one that's got the thing on the back that
drove Jay crazy?
Yeah.
Which I'm just gonna leave it like that because it drives him nuts. But
Hey, I dig it.
But yeah, again, just little ship pierced for 6 guns. We'll put some swivels on it once I figure out the rigging. I'm going to do the rigging in a very similar manner to those two. I'm thinking just some sort of fore and aft rig job. We will put a boom out here because, again, you can see that there's a channel cut into the bow.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, we'll put a bowsprit up here. That's what I should have been saying the entire time. I apologize to your viewers because obviously there's a channel cut for that bowsprit. Oh, speaking of bizarre, semi-interesting.
He says, Joy Wargaming says, gorgeous looking boat. Yes, it is.
Thank you, Mr. Wargaming.
It's okay.
Fun, weird boat that I did because, well, I found it and I was like, oh, that'd be cool. But an Old Glory's take on a torpedo class torpedo boat from the 1880s-ish. Got a little sail back here. So again, it's 28. Did a little bit more weathering on this than I usually do. So I got like the streaks and the grime and crap. I don't know. Just felt like being fancy, you know.
It looks good.
Chunk
I
wear.
like the ropes.
Some damage. Yeah, the ropes, they're not my favorite, but they're not too bad. So that's, again, we had some damage. So I just tied the ropes off here instead of doing the standard. You can't see it. Instead of, finishing them like they should be, like they are everywhere else. Those are just tied off because there's some damage there. Shabow. Again, just to go with random.
Does the job.
Random colonial stuff.
I think McMurray needs to get his YouTube channel going and start doing these little boat games.
Just nothing but boats.
Why not?
Again, Chris, not Jay and I were talking about, like, we should just do random McMurray collections. And just exhibit random McMurray collections from time to time. And it's like, that's a really fun idea. Except then you just randomly be like, oh yeah, and here's, 17 goblins that I decided to paint because, well, I found them in a box.
Okay.
And the little guys looked fun. We got guys like this guy doing that. And then eventually I'll have to paint up, I've got one that's a little more on the rude side somewhere. I don't know where he's at right now. But he's the boss. He's doing things. We're gonna pull him off the screen again. But yeah, now I just want to go find all the boats. Here's a longboat that I haven't decided how I want to put the crew in because there's like 30 something rowers. So I think I might put some rowers in here. Do a couple rows of guys rowing, and then a couple rows of like Marines. Or I might just pull it all out and just paint the boat so that I can use it for, again, Thomas's game, because you can absolutely use rowboats in Thomas's game. And this is big enough to hold several, like a ton of guys based on 3/4-inch washers. Which is one of those things when you're playing naval games, you want to base your washers or you want to base your figures slightly smaller just because boats are cramped anyways and getting guys to fit on decks is a pain in the butt. Man, Chris, now I want to take an adventure to the 15 mil, but we're not going to also just because I love Paul. I bought one. Like, there's one Paul. Okay, look, there it is. You see it. It's horrendously warped. Mainly because
no, it's not. It just looks like it is because
Again, we've had this discussion. I'm not getting into it. I got the straight edge out last time, but you can see where there's a giant lip on this thing.
Yeah.
Where the casting sucks. But I did. It was at Miniature Market. It was like $8 because the box was messed up. And it's Vittorio Veneto, which is a pretty boat. So I'll paint that up.
So I know it's not naval related.
Far in the future. Yeah.
I know it's not naval related, but it is Star Wars related. I did want to show this off.
There are boats in Star Wars.
Yeah, they're just in space.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
So
that's space combat. We said space combat was naval.
Yeah, this is more, aircraft, but
Whatever, dude.
But yeah,
There you go.
I made this Death Star.
You made that?
I made this Death Star. Yeah.
That's super cool.
That's really cool. You got the little alleyway thing, whatever.
Yeah. So the rebels had to fight their way to the trench, and then once they got to the trench, they had to go down the trench, being attacked the entire time. And
Oof,
I
they've been working on
think
some spaceships that look awesome too.
I don't know where my pictures are for it. Okay, that was 2013. So go to date. Library. Yeah, he's painting up the ships from
Red Alert, I think, right?
Red Alert. Yeah.
They look gorgeous.
Okay.
Mr. Wargaming, what's coming up next? Obviously, there's just that's the cool thing. Again, go check out his channel. He's got like 4 or 5 different campaigns going right now between playing Chosen Men, playing what is it, Black Ops? Yeah. Fighting Sail, and then Air Ramen is sometimes on. I don't remember what the rules are for that, but yeah, it's always cool. I want to go get more boats, Chris.
So
Can't get more boats. I need to
here's
paint these boats.
it together.
Nice.
So
Nice.
it's a 3 foot by 3 foot. Actually, 3 foot by 3 foot foam core, and I had these images downloaded, printed them out on cardstock. And then this is how Darth Vader and his wingmen look on it. And then Luke and somebody in the Y-wing, and of course the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, I didn't even see the Y-wing. That thing's camouflage.
Yeah. And so the rebels would deploy in the green area, and the Imperials would deploy behind the red line over here. And I had 2 of these that were then connected by the trench.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was talking to...
And then I had the stay on target phase line. And instead of once you got into the trench, you didn't have to worry about your dial, because you were just flying down the trench. So you would move, and then once you got, you could get to the early launch, and you had to have so many successes to hit. Or if you thought you could make it, you could get all the way down to the end of it, and you needed less successes to make it happen.
So you were playing using the X-Wing rules?
Yeah, we were using the X-Wing rules back then.
Based off the X-Wing rules? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, the actual X-Wing game from Fantasy Flight.
Fantasy Flight, yeah.
Now
that was a fun game. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun. I prefer Starfighters.
Accurate, but again, I didn't mind X-Wing. It got a lot of people into a hobby.
Yeah.
Which again isn't always the best thing, but sometimes.
So there's the complete board right there.
Oh yeah.
3 foot by 6.5 foot.
Nice.
You still have it?
No, but it doesn't take hardly anything to put it back together. Build a new one.
Yeah.
And I might just put one of these together for March to Victory.
There you go. You don't even need. What did you use the full 3 feet on either side for? Just where they started?
Yeah, and there was had gun turrets up there and whatnot.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's cool.
So, because they had to fight their way to get to the trench.
Yep. No, I got you. I'm smelling what you're stepping in, big dog.
Yeah. So, It was a lot of fun. Oh, here I actually got pictures of it in play. This was at J3.
Nice.
Yeah, got some scrums going there. Darth coming on board. Got 2 Y-Wings down, making their run. I mean, it's very visually appealing.
It is.
There you go. Put some Star Wars background music to it.
Yep.
Obviously not on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
What do you think? Strong tone or soft tone on these things?
Twinkies. I haven't had
Yeah,
Twinkies
those
in a long
were
time.
for Joey's birthday that year.
Nice.
Mm.
Dude, I ate 20 Twinkies in like 8 minutes one time
Ugh.
Oh,
to
man.
prove my
How are you
scars
still
wrong.
alive?
Dog, the sweetness kills you. Like, it was like my stomach didn't hurt. My face hurt.
Yeah.
Like my mouth hurt because it was so sweet. It was.
Yeah.
Do they still make crocodiles?
No.
Oh.
No,
Yeah.
because you're old.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Mm.
Brian,
Hey.
Oh yeah, Brian's old. That's
Crocodiles were awesome, man. Just a chocolate covered Twinkie, but hey, man, they're still.
I mean, that's. Yeah, it sounds good. I'm not gonna lie.
Snowballs are nothing more than coconut igloo over a ding dong, and are nasty.
Yeah, they are.
I don't get me wrong. I like coconut stuff. Like I like Mounds and Almond Joy, but no snowballs. No, it's the marshmallow. It's not the coconut. It's the marshmallow. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. The only time a marshmallow is good is when it's toasted to a golden brown,
Yeah.
and then you take that shell off and eat it. When
Oh,
you
yeah.
have
You
a
do it
little bit of
again.
you have a little bit of that gooey left, and you hit it over the fire again to get that same thing, and just
Yep. Just keep
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
Rinse and repeat.
that's how you eat a marshmallow.
Yeah,
Mm.
dog.
Just
Rinse and
pop the
repeat
son of a
until
bitch in
you
your
get it.
mouth cold. Ugh, gag.
That's dude. Oh, my brother used to do that. That's gnarly. The only time you should ever do that is you're playing Chubby Bunny, in which case it's completely understandable because you're in a competition to prove someone else sucks.
Yeah, well,
Usually
but
a
still.
family member, so it's got to happen.
Dairy Queen sounds good.
Well, we have actually, believe it or not, gone 2 hours and 8 minutes.
Holy shnikey already.
Yep.
Dog, this is what happens. Again, so actually, if you don't mind it just a sec, Chris,
Yeah.
I had an idea. I wanted to
Hurry up,
bounce off you,
McNugget.
that I can bounce off you live just so that Brian's here since he's never here, Miniature War Mutt.
Hey.
Because, again,
Hey, I'm happy you're here, man.
I'm
Thank you.
super happy. That's why I'm happy. That's why I'm bringing this up. First off, go look at Miniature War Mutt's terrain videos because they
Oh,
are
absolutely, dude. Yes.
They are.
His shit
Goddamn
is the
stellar.
shit.
Dude, like, so again, I've been getting random like shitty GW sponsored sorts of vids, right? Or videos pop up on my YouTube, including a bunch that are like, oh, turn your trash into terrain, da 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 da, and they all suck. Like,
Anyway.
I don't know
Yeah.
how. No, I'm dead serious. Brian, your terrain looks awesome. And
Yeah,
these
it does.
suck. Like,
Here, hold on. Let me. Yeah,
but
dude, that thing looks amazing.
yeah, dude.
What is that first layer? What is that?
It's a plastic. It held
Tacos.
muffins. It held muffins in it.
Okay.
Oh, you eat
So,
muffins?
Top part was another microwave bowl, something healthy
Yeah.
choice, something, and then this cap is just from weed
Looks
spray,
like Scope.
Roundup, whatever.
Looks like
So-
scope.
But anyways, then I just start throwing doodads all over it. So
Well, dude, your doodad throwing is
Oh.
par excellence.
Yeah.
And then here, I'm giving you guys sneak peeks because I usually have these on Terrain Tuesdays or whatever.
Yep.
This will be like a cafe or something from space, you know.
Oh, it looks. Oh, what?
This is bare bones, you know. This is
What?
like-
Get out of town. That is cool.
so
Shit, dude.
junk, man. So, and then I'm still working on this one, and it's just a pill bottle, and I'm just adding more sprues and stuff, and it's gonna be like, I don't know, some kind of thing.
Dude, that's like a moisture evaporator.
Again.
Something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I just go to town. I just, I don't really plan it. I just look at it, and then I just start adding stuff.
But at the same time, that kind of gives it that
real look.
It gives it a rather distinctive look. You're not mass producing things. You're not taking,
no, it's unique. It's one and only.
Yeah.
So
just like you, Brian.
But I'm getting real close to having it done and get the. I get a little frustrated because I want to get everything set and then do my gaming, and I want to game like now. So, and that's,
right.
So, anyways,
understandable.
So
yeah, don't go for it.
No, I was just saying. Well, for the fantasy stuff, I got another month now to catch up on the fantasy terrain. So,
did somebody finally get their Jay Wiley fantasy books?
There's a lot of people that got it's just the hardcovers are on delay for another month.
Did you got the hardcover, didn't you?
Yeah, I got the hardcover one.
See, I am not as patient as you fine folks are. I got the PDF copies so that I could immediately go print them out. I had them printed the day they sent them out, so I could start reading them. I printed one that was all three of the books in one volume, and then each of the volumes separately as well.
Yeah, I got that's the other thing he did. He was cool enough to send out the PDF for the hardcover since there's a delay.
Oof. So, yeah, that's got to be gorgeous.
So, but I love the dungeon mechanics that he's got.
Oh, they're cool, aren't they?
So how you have to yes, we see that, Chris.
Yeah, we get it, Chris. You're cooler than
I got the that's when I got the brutal coming. So,
yeah, we get it. Jay likes you better than us. Yeah, cool.
But how the dungeon
he also owns my soul, so
yeah. How you have to roll die or whatever
really expensive.
Yeah, how you have to roll die to get the dungeon outlay or whatever for each time you move. Yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah. It's I'm a fan.
So next week, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Do your thing, McMurray.
I keep distracting this is entirely my fault. So I'm just distracting myself with random shit at this point, and I apologize. Dear viewers who are obviously watching this later, because anybody who's lasted through this rant is completely brain dead. But
we love you all.
Oh, absolutely. Just because somebody's brain dead doesn't mean you can't love them. Look at Brian. So the question the question is, I was sitting here thinking I don't contribute very much other than being a smartass when I'm on here. But along that same lines as we'll just feature a random McMurray collection because there's just so much random crap in this house. What would you guys think if we took and found a bunch of, like any other wargamer, none of these collections are very finished. If I put forth a number of things for you guys to choose from, say, hey, this is what we want to see McMurray working on, this is what we want to see him finish, would that be something you viewers are interested in? If so, toss it down in the comments or just yell in the texture if you're still on here. And next week I'll be on and we'll see what's up, and maybe we'll and maybe we'll compile a list if people say, yeah, that's something they'd be interested in seeing. Just like we did the little random.
We could put up a once we get a couple of ideas, we can then put a poll up in Discord.
Oh, absolutely. We'll do that.
Yeah. So next week, I already know what we're going to talk about next week. McMurray, you know what we're talking about next week?
Wiley War Games weekend recap.
Exactly. And I'm gonna see if I can't get some cross-pollination here between the Chronicles of Not Jay attendees. I'm hoping that Todd can join us next week since he will be there.
I am driving him there, so
I was so excited.
here's to hoping I don't have to load him in the car with a ski mask on. But whatever.
There you go.
Whatever we got to do, he will be there.
Right. But some of the guys from the J3 crowd are going to be there as well. My best friend in all the world, Chris Copeland, buddy that I didn't know I knew. I should say I didn't know that I went to school with for a semester, Joel. And
oh, really? Joel, huh?
And then also America's Sergeant Major, Mike Burke, will be there as well. And I'm hoping I can get them to come onto the show next week also.
Oh, outstanding.
And we will just talk about the amazingly amazing fun that we had this coming weekend at that point in time, previous weekend. So this is the second annual Wiley Wargaming weekend in person. It's a little bit smaller than the first year, and that's okay. Because it is invitation only, and you can't bring a +1.
Yep.
So, which
that being said, Mr. Warmut, I would gladly buy your ticket if you would like to attend.
I can't.
What?
He can't.
Why
He
not?
can't.
No, with
Because-
that attitude.
I can't.
Okay, I have a question for you, and I'm being, in all honesty. Is March a time when you can get away from work?
Possibly.
Okay. Because we are building up to having a game convention in March in Kansas City being run by Wiley Games.
Why are you coming?
But caveat that I know at least Robin really wanted to get out there.
What's that?
I said, but caveat that I know at least Robin really wanted to get out there, featuring far more than just Wiley Games.
Yes. Yeah. Other games. So, pack up your zombies.
You can play zombies with Wiley.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, but
You can play Napoleonic zombies with Wiley because I'm
Yeah,
going to
you
do
could.
that.
There you go. But the point is, it's that is going to be an open to the public gaming convention that we are working toward in the month of March. Don't know when in March yet, but
Well, what building is it going to be in? Like the hotel? Or
no, it's going to be in.
Civic Center or something?
Right now, it looks like it's going to be in a. I believe it's an American Legion Hall in Blue Springs,
Outstanding.
just outside of Kansas City. This weekend, the money that gets generated from the ticket sales and whatever else happens this weekend is the seed money that's going to be going into renting the location. So in March. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a blast. The other thing that is being done with March to Victory is anybody that wants to run a game has to apply. They can't just say, "Oh, I want to run a game. Here it is," and it gets put on the list. They actually have to apply. They have to send in almost like a resume and a cover letter. They got to take a picture of what their game table is going to look like, take a picture of their miniatures, what game system is being used, how long, are you familiar with said game system? Because Robin only wants the best. She's going to be a gaming snob.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to be perfectly honest, I'm okay with that. Because when I go to a game convention, I want to see beautiful tables. And then so when we get photos of it published after the fact, people will say, "Man, those tables look amazing. I want to go there next year," and we start building the convention.
Yeah.
So that's why I am printing up these little guys. I've got one, the entry door, the entry module printed, and I've got two of the straight corridors printed
For the Darth Vader Chopathon.
Yep.
That's so cool.
So I got to figure out how long I want to make this thing, though.
That's what she said.
Hey,
That's what she said.
hey yo. So,
Oh, yeah.
all right, guys. Well, we are 2:20 into this shindig.
Well, it's almost 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's almost 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun
If you want
tonight.
to see McMurray finish collections.
What?
Go. Not. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yes. Okay. Yeah. So either throw onto the messages here, or go to Discord, or go to the Not J group on
you put it on there,
Facebook. Throw it anywhere. What you want to see? What collection do you want to see McMurray finish?
Dinosaurs.
All I have to do is base those. There's not enough there to.
Eat
Yeah,
Hitler.
that's not going to be a show.
I was about to say no. I'll finish that off, Brian, just for you, buddy, because I do. Because all it needs to be done is they need to be based.
Yeah.
So I already based and painted all the figures. So I just need to base the dinosaurs themselves. And then yes, Brian, we're gonna play Eat Hitler. Hell yeah.
Cool.
So, but boys, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Ooh.
Those 6 of you that are still watching,
Holy
thank you
smokes.
so much for watching. Gracias. Oh, you'll like this, Brian. What do you say? What do you say at the nudist colony right after the yard's been mowed?
What?
What do you say at the nudist colony right after the yard's been mowed?
Oh, good.
Much
What?
ass, grassy ass.
Oh my god.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. What she's.
So,
Brian's gonna use that next time he's mowing the grass up at the nudist colony there in Arizona.
Yeah.
Joy of Wargaming says, "Thanks for the show. You make my commute tolerable." Well, I'm glad we make it tolerable. So we'll catch you next week when we've got all kinds of things to talk about from Wiley Weekend. I will have a multitude of photos to share, and we're just going to talk about how much fun we had. So,
Hell yeah.
guys, take care. We will see you next week, same time. Bye.